All right, today we're going to do something fun. We're going to break down the playbook of a small coffee company that's somehow winning in a market just packed with giants. So, how are they pulling it off? Well, it's not just about the coffee itself. It's actually about this really simple but super powerful three-part formula. And we're going to deconstruct their whole model, from a farm in Colombia all the way to a front door in Orlando, Florida. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's start with a question you hear all the time. What does truly fresh coffee even mean, right? It sounds so simple, but that answer, that's the secret sauce. That's what makes the difference between a pretty good cup of coffee and one that's just wow. To really get it, we're going to zoom in on one company that's built its entire business around that exact question. Beach Bros Coffee down in Orlando, Florida.
Okay, so let's dive in. We're using Beach Bros as our case study to really see how a small, local roaster can build such a solid business. We're going to break it down into the three core pillars that really define their brand and what they promise their customers.
First up is Pillar 1, their sourcing model. And this is arguably the foundation of their entire operation. It's all about where the coffee beans actually come from.
Right out of the gate, they do something that most coffee companies just don't. They own their own coffee farm in Colombia. Now, this isn't some tiny little detail. This is a total game changer. Think about it. It gives them complete control right from the very start of the supply chain. That is so rare in this business.
And you better believe they don't hide it. It's front and center in all their marketing. When you see them say no middlemen, what they're really doing is drawing a straight line from their farm directly to you. The promise here is so clear. A shorter, simpler journey for the bean means a purer, better product for you. You know exactly where it's been.
So this whole approach has a name. It's called the farm-to-cup model. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's all about creating the shortest, most direct path possible. For you, the person drinking the coffee, this model is all about two things: getting a fresher product and feeling a real connection to where that coffee came from.
All right, that brings us to the second pillar, which is just as crucial: their brand identity. Because let's be real, in today's world, what you sell is often less important than what you actually stand for.
So, Beach Bros is proudly veteran-owned, and they make absolutely sure you know it. This is way more than just a little fun fact about the founders, It's a really smart strategic move. It immediately links their coffee in your mind with values like integrity, discipline, and service.
I mean, just that one label, veteran-owned, does so much work for the brand. It instantly builds trust. It creates this powerful bond with the military community and anyone who supports them. And, let's face it, in a crowded coffee scene, it gives them a unique story that really makes them stand out from everyone else.
Okay, on to pillar number 3, and this is where it all starts to really come together. See, instead of trying to go head-to-head with the giant national online brands, they've done the complete opposite. They've zeroed in with an intense focus on a very specific local market.
I mean, they are absolutely laser-focused on owning the Orlando market. You can see it right in the language on their website. It's all set up for people searching things like coffee beans near me in Orlando. They're not trying to be the world's coffee shop. They want to be Orlando's go-to online coffee shop, period. And this isn't just some vague marketing claim either. They get super specific. They actually list out the neighborhoods they deliver to. Downtown Orlando, Winter Park, Lake Nona. This shows a really deep commitment to that one area. And that allows them to build a killer local reputation and, more importantly, deliver on promises that those big national companies just can't touch. Okay, so this is the really cool part. It's how these three pillars, the farm direct sourcing, that veteran-owned identity, and the hyperlocal focus, it's how they all lock together. They combine to create this really powerful, tangible benefit for the customer. And that brings us right back to where we started, to that question about freshness.
And here it is. This is their core promise. Your coffee is roasted and then shipped within 24 to 48 hours. That's it. Because they're only focused on Orlando, they can roast in these small, precise batches and get the coffee out the door, like right away. That guarantees it shows up at your house at its absolute peak freshness.
And this chart just lays it out so perfectly. Take a look. On one side, you've got the Beach Bros model. Your coffee was roasted just days ago. The supply chain is super simple: farm, roaster, you. And the beans are single origin from their own farm. Now look at the other side. That's your typical store-bought coffee. It could have been roasted weeks, even months ago. It's gone through this crazy complex chain of exporters, importers, warehouses, and stores, passing through a half-dozen hands before it ever gets to you. The difference is just night and day.
So how do they actually pull this off? Well, it's a super simple online process. It's all direct to consumer and built for their local customers.
You just go online, you choose your roast and your grind, pick a bag size, pop in your Orlando address, and boom, freshly roasted beans show up at your door. It's just a perfect, seamless execution of that whole hyper-local, super fresh model we've been talking about.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? I think Beach Bros really gives us a blueprint for how the little guys can win against the giants. It's all about owning your story, from the very beginning all the way to the customer. It's about building a brand that means something more than just the product in the bag. And it's about deciding to go deep in one market instead of trying to be everywhere at once. And that kind of leaves us with a bigger question, right? Is this the future for specialty products? Are we seeing a real shift away from these massive, faceless companies and back to a more direct, more trusted, and yeah, a fresher model? Well, when you look at a success story like Beach Bros, it kind of feels like the answer might be yes.